in other jurisdictions in the Commonwealth where the president unilaterally decides Governor Mutula is a good man, he can become a commissioner of IEBC. Kimani Ichung'wah cannot, Governor Igoro can. Between those, because that's the debate really, which route to pursue. And from your reading, you are asking for a speedy resolution of that matter through the selection panel. That's what I wanted to confirm, whether you are support of the selection panel.
We have stated, yes, about the selection panel.
Selection panel is your position.
Yes, and the reasons are, obvious. From our historical perspective from 1992, you don't want to reinvent history. It's there in the law, and facts.
Not political parties.
No, the details as to who sits in the selection panel, like in the case in UK, would be either political parties, etc. We didn't want to get into those details.
Okay.
Yeah, because then we didn't want to compromise the otherwise.
Sorry.
Yes.
But is it your position that the current selection panel continues with the work? It's not clear. Yeah.
So we avoided the question of current. We said selection panel. Not current. We didn't want a political fight about it because people would hold different views. Just said, go with the method, but look for the detail. The detail is yours. Yeah, on the county boundaries. And the question...
We will read that to mean not necessarily the current panel, but a panel.
Yeah. Read it that
panel mode.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, on the question of the county boundaries, let me say this because I attempted, and majority leader, you are aware. Since 2013, I attempted to have the county boundaries bill.
Yeah.
Since 2013, I drafted three bills from 2017 to 2022. Chairman, although we don't have a brief from the council on the creation because we are not aware. We were not briefed on the creation, the proposed creation of the new counties. You can't even get there without determining the boundaries of counties. Because how will you split one county if you don't know where the boundary is? Yeah. But the contradiction is this, Chairman, that whilst constituencies are known, whilst wards are known, boundaries of counties appear ambiguous. So the delimitation is important so that you can resolve the question of county boundaries before you get to the question whether you will increase or reduce. Because the criteria of the 47 is already there in the 1992 District and Provinces Act. You don't have any other method. And in any event, Chairman, for that territory of Kenya, you have to do a referendum.
It is disputed, sorry.
What?
That criteria was disputed vehemently this morning by Mwingi people.
By
Mwingi, the people of Mwingi.
Mwingi. Neighbors. My neighbors.
Yes.
Neighbors
that when Makueni District
yes.
and Tarakaniti District were created way back in 1992 or thereabout, they were gazetted. And yet, Mwingi District was equally created at the same time, but was not gazetted.
No,
that's how it missed out.
The position is this, that the last Attorney General, Amos Wako, is the person who came up with the District and Provinces Act. Any other gazette notice that came after that was not considered for purposes of constitutional making. That is a fact. And there are many other gazette notices that followed. But the correct position is that the 47 counties are anchored on the 1992 law, which was the compromise by the constitutional lawmakers. Thank you.
More emphatically, the COG is of the position
yes.
that you don't support an increment in the number of counties.
I'm saying, for purposes of our brief, the county boundaries now appear ambiguous. It is a contradiction to start talking about other things before you define the county boundaries.
We first fix the existing county boundaries before we even begin the question of delimiting.
Yes.
To new additional ones or reducing.
There is no baby, so where will you get the other baby from? It's a simple thing. The question of the independence of county assemblies has been addressed. The question asked by my good friend and twin brother, Senator Oman, on referendum, I will tell you. Number 8 and 9 on our document are covered under Article 255. They will require a referendum. Independence of county assemblies, I fought very hard when I was sitting in the budget committee to ensure that the county assemblies are given financial autonomy, which was done through a circular What they're asking is an amendment to the PFM. And since Chairman, you have been sitting in that committee, you know what they are talking about. Thank you.
And now that you're sitting in the Council of Governor, I hope you have praised the Council more on the provisions of Article 2 or 3.
Yeah, the one of 45% will be important to hear.
Is it the justification for the 45%?
Is that what Governor Timami is?
And the minimum of 6 billion.
The justification for, in fact, at the time that we were proposing, in fact, at the BBI it was 40%. And in the calculation of the 40%, in fact, was costing of existing functions. It's not even an increment, it's just the functions, the existing functions. If you cost the existing functions, you will even go to 40% straight without an increment. We're simply saying the funds have not followed the functions. And in this, we have gone out of our way, and I must say it, because this is a matter that I'm very passionate about. In the graph on page 6,
is that why Governor says has taken over the work of the chair to allocate who is going to answer what? And I was asking her on a light note, what side is she on?
Look at the graphs appearing on allocations. This is how to answer that question, and it also answers the question that Majority Leader talks about funding. If you look at the funding for counties in 2013, at the advent, it was at 64.7%. If you look at it currently, it is at 56.3%. If you look at, no, that is national. If you look at counties, it has reduced dramatically from 14 all the way, and it has been going up and down, up and down. This increment that you can see at national government, those 2013, those are actually county functions. That, yes, from 20 to 15%. You can see the graph in the blue line. The 4% here and the increment at national of more than 7% is actually money that should be going to counties. That is the scientific justification.
Governor, this green line, have you factored in public debt, national interest?
You and I were.
You have taken the wholesome share.
But you and I were in Parliament when we were debating this public debt and increment of this debt from 6 trillion to 10 trillion. It was obvious at that time you would get to 10 trillion before the time that was specified by National Assembly in the Gazette notice, and it was going to affect the bottom line. So I agree with the Vice Chair. Whether you call it financing of debt or public debt, it's just talking about the chicken and the egg. It's the same thing.
But you remember we took the same position and we were ignored.
I know, but now you know what